Gotcha guys, how you doing? It's LNT, Stephen LNT, metal detectorist, LNT detectorist. Welcome to the channel guys, love to have you all on board. Just thought I'd give you a heads up on a magnet that I bought. The previous magnet that I bought, I wasn't quite happy with it, the way it worked, the way it trawled across the lakes. It was alright for dobbing down the edges of canals or down the edges of piers, it was fine for that. But for trawling across lakes or riverbeds or canal beds, the way it was linked up to the actual magnet from the top of the magnet was a round magnet, and it had the hook in the middle of the magnet, so every time you pulled it in, it come in on its side all the time, so I wasn't quite happy with that. So I've been out and bought a new one now. This is one I've bought guys. There you go. This was about £46. It's a double-sided magnet. It's twice as powerful as the original one, and it's about a third less of the weight as well. So it's easy to cast out. You can cast this as far as you like, guys. I've got it on about 20 metres of power cord there. I've got it linked up. I don't put knots in my line at all, guys. I always use a clamped link there with bolts inside there guys, so you know any knots in your line to me is a weak point. It's either a weak point because you haven't tied it right, or it's just a weak point because it's a knot, like in fishing. You know, when I do the fishing, if you want a weak point in the line to break for a certain poundage of fish or whatever, or for safety reasons, you put a knot in the line to create a weak point. It's the same in cord. If you put a knot in a cord, it gives you a weak point. So I stay away from knots completely, and I use clamps like that. There you go. You see those bolted clamps there? Nice and easy to put on, nice and cheap as well. So the cord, I think that was about £10 for 20 metres. The actual length there, I think that was about you get about five or six for about £2-3, and the actual magnet itself, there you go guys. All off eBay. I think it was the cheapest I got this for was £46, and it's a double-sided magnet, so no matter where that goes into the broad or to the lake or to the river or the canal, it's always going to land like that guys, and you'll always be trawling it on one side or the other across the lake. So the magnet is working to its fullest potential. Now when I've been out with this, it was absolutely excellent, to one stage where I needed someone else to help me pull a solid steel gate post in, and it must have weighed, I don't know, I couldn't estimate the weight of the actual steel that came out, and I pulled it across the river as well, all through the reeds and the grasses and everything and the bottom sludge, and I pulled it all the way through, and it took two of us to get it out of the water. And it's a big solid square steel post, solid iron it was. I couldn't imagine the weight, but it got that out of the bloody water, it really did, and dragged it across the lake as well, the riverbed, which was excellent. So regarding power, you don't know much more power than this, because whenever you get something on there like a coin, you're going to have trouble getting them off guys, you really are. It's bad enough trying to get a coin off one of these without it being more powerful, so 200 kg is quite enough. So I'll just show you my adaptation that I'm going to do on this one guys. All I've done is I've just bought some gaffer tape, nice bright yellow coloured gaffer tape. The reason for that, I want to, you know, so I can see where this magnet is in the water should it get snared up or whatever, or when I'm lifting something, I'm now at the point of lifting it out of the water. I want it nice and bright, so this part of the cord here, it's going to be nice and bright. And the reason I'm going to turn it into the only problem I had this when I was using this to cross riverbeds, canal beds, is the reeds and the grasses all got caught in that gap there. So every time it came in, it's full of grasses or reeds or bits of wire or whatever. So if you should come out across a barbed wire fence that's, you know, snagged on the bottom of a waterway, and it goes in there, that's going to snag up, and you're going to have a major problem getting this in, guys. It gets snagged up with a wire, you know, strong cable or whatever. So what I want to turn this into is a snag-proof setup, and all I do with that is use some really strong waterproof gaffer tape, nice and bright colour as I say, so I can wrap the end up. And what I'll do now, I'll just wrap this up and I'll come back here in a second and show you my finished snag-proof rig setup in a minute guys. Guys, back at you, done that. So you may need to do this about once every I don't know, 5-10 trips. It all depends how much, but because this is waterproof, it should last you a long time. And there you go. That's now my snag-proof setup. So there's nothing on there for the grasses or the reeds or wire or anything. Even if it gets in a snag of a tree, it should pull through because it's nice and flowing there. As you can see, it's all flowing through and comes off the edges, so that should come through a lot easier now. And it's easier to hold as well, to fling out, so it's nice and easy to grip. Say that's gaffer tape, it's waterproof, so it should last you some time, but obviously it will wear with time. You may need to replace this every, I don't know, every 10 visits or anything. or whatever, guys. But there you go, that's my snag free setup with the double-sided magnet, guys. There you go, and the full setup with the rope, with the link, with the magnet, come to about 50 quid. I think the gaffer tape was only about £1.20, and I got loads on there. That's enough to last a load more visits. Take that with you just in case it starts to come apart. But there you go, guys. That's it. Any advice down below, or any tips or anything, the way you set up your magnets, and that's my view on that double-sided magnet. I think it's absolutely excellent because it's two-sided. No matter how it lands in the water, it's always fishing every time, not like 50% of the time with the other magnets. Okay guys, thanks for popping in. Any comments down below, put them down below. Till later guys, you be lucky out there, and whether you're magnet fishing or whether you're metal detecting, whatever beeps, you be lucky. Until next time, from Stephen, from the LNT Detectorist. Till next time, till the next video guys, ta-ra for now.